Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Rustoria Base Invaders. Today we have the EU 8-man's event I am paired and in the booth. I am joined by Llama. How are we doing today, Llama?
I am doing fantastic. Ready to see some amazing Rust action. How about yourself?
Yeah, it's been a week since we were last on together. We obviously did the NA event last week, and it was some crazy things happening. I mean, I wonder if we can see some more surprising events happen, especially in this attack phase. We've got 30 minutes now to see what players can do to show themselves. A few familiar faces around. So let's get straight into the action, see what we can find.
Yeah, and it's exactly like you said. We have a lot of those players that have been showing up each and every week. 8 mans though this week, so a little bit different. Last week we had 6, and the week before we had 3. So this time you have a lot more players to deal with. Hopefully the bases should be a little bit better into that fashion. But what are you thinking of today's 8 mans?
Gonna be even more PvP, I'd imagine. A lot more players to come forth and back. Obviously, last week we had a team called the Torpic who sent all 6 players to attack. So maybe this week we're going to see 8 players go on a raid. Although it didn't end up well for them last time, so I wonder if they come back and learn their lesson. Either way, though, this base here, it looks a bit messy. Maybe they can get that tidied up a slight bit when they get further on in. We've got we pull up, we pull up sat outside the walls there, the compound, looking to get some shots in and get a couple of kills. But so far, they can't get themselves in, but it might be a spot for them to raid first. Maybe that's what they're doing, having a little look around, seeing who they can take first.
Yeah, definitely keeping an eye out, trying to find who are easy targets, easy points. Obviously, a little bit less amount of teams because there are so many players. So, got to be careful about who you raid because the teams are going to fall fast. So, we can pull up though, like you're saying, just kind of scouting out right now, trying to find to see if there is an easy target in this base. And it looks like they haven't really, like you said, upgraded their base a lot. So, could be that easy target when that attack phase ends.
Yeah, I mean they are onto the roof defense now, which means they have,
Hmm.
they have half an hour to get that up. But obviously, the players sat outside the compound will be trying to make that the less see more of a difficult task. Obviously, already Weeple up getting a kill there on error. So there we go. One's gone. Buga and Nikita both sat outside the compound getting shot in onto the roof defense, which so far is only made of wood. So they might need to. They might want to get that sorted out as soon as they can. Otherwise, they won't be able to get their base up properly.
Yeah, that's really like it's really tough to kind of build your base if you can't really walk outside of it. So it's exactly like you're saying that we pull up is kind of just putting in some shots on the roof and all the people that try to walk outside. So they only really put 2 members over there, but we can already see that they have built some trench warfare against RNC, and RNC has built some back. So these two being right next to each other, we talked how having someone right next to each other is super dangerous. So could be each other's first targets, and we kind of see that we pull up having that kind of deal or no deal base where it has you gotta get lucky or go through all of them to try and get it.
Yeah, and I mean, we did see last week Capybara took out the wall, and then the wall they
Hmm.
shot at was where the TC was hidden. They got the TC. This base, though, here, it looks very strong in the centre, but they still haven't got their compound up, which means they've got a big gap there. And RNC are pushing on, making sure they can't get that built up. And as we did see last week, we did see a couple of teams who weren't able to finish their base because it was taken over by the oppositions. It looks like RNC, though, where they're going to the garage here. Maybe there's some PvP going on over there. A couple of shots coming in, but then we pull up, taking out Big Petite. Big Puppy T. Again, shots coming in.
Yeah, they're gonna rain down some shots, try and stop this team from getting as much resources as possible. RNC is going to build a couple of those walls, a couple of those bags to give them those temporary checkpoints. But we pull up if they obviously limiting the amount of resources your enemies can get is really important. So shooting some good shots, trying to stop them from getting to that gas station, getting more resources. But RNC is going to place some of those walls to give them a little bit of that protection, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, I mean the aim of the game obviously is to raid, so maybe they're trying to find themselves a TC location, but they are seem to be going more towards that gas station there. Maybe they've found some enemies over there. They are all pushing towards it, so it will be interesting to see what they can do. Obviously RNC are a team we see a lot PvP. They always like to go out and kill in the attack phase, but they haven't really been performing the past couple of weeks in the raid phase, and they've been getting raided, or they haven't been, you know, in the top 5 teams. They've basically dropped out a slight bit from where they used to be. So maybe they can make a change to that today.
Yeah, I think it's exactly like you said, that they really show up every week. They're like one of those consistent teams to actually show up, but they haven't been showing up per se. That they have been doing, like I said, really good in getting those PvP kills, getting a lot of those kills in that attack phase. But once it comes to that raiding phase, it kind of seems like they're falling a little bit behind. So maybe we will see them kind of perform a little bit better today. With it looks like I don't think we have Capybara or the best. So either of those top 2 teams we've seen perform last week. So a door opening maybe for RNC that they could get in the top 5 today.
Yeah, there's a lot of the powerhouses last week that we aren't seeing return. Maybe certain players have been kicked and mixed around. Obviously, last week it was the NA events. Maybe the later players, the later tournament at the moment. We pull up losers, both battling it out at the top with kill points there. And we did see last week as well, actually, in the NA tournament, three helicopters taken down by one team.
Yeah, it was kind of lucky for that team. They got those 3 helicopters kind of landing right by them and pretty much uncontested. But exactly like you're saying, losers and we pull up kind of topping the leaderboard right now. Obviously, you can't really raid any bases at this attack phase, but you can get those kills. So losers will take a little bit of an early lead, and we've seen that those points definitely do matter. It definitely comes down to a very small amount of points. So any points you can get in this attack phase definitely helps.
Yeah, there's some more fighting going on here. It did seem like Gay Gang were getting the most of these players, as the 2 players did drop from Crocodile, I think it is. Yeah, Crocodile. It's another interesting name, another one that likes to mess about with the English accents. But here we go. They are getting some shots in.
Yeah, they're going to get some shots in, and the gang is going to put up some walls to try and defend it and stay alive for now. And Crocodile just going to be putting down some really nice shots. Got a lot of that, like we talked about, that trench warfare, putting down some walls to try and gain as much ground on your opponents as you can. As they're kind of, like we said, holding this team out of their base, trying to limit the resources they can get, trying to limit the ground they can get. And no real kills have come about it yet, but kind of just trading shots at the moment.
Yep, they are. The kills are coming in the favour of Gay Gang, and there's another one. I'm only taking the drop here. Someone with a name that I am not even going to attempt to pronounce is taking them all on here. He's now been killed though, and here's Chinlon. Chinlon behind him, and Chinlon getting that wall up. Very, very clutch play there, because he's only on low health. And now the push is going to come from Crocodile, who will eventually take the kill. And here comes the Naked. What can he do? Looking to pick up a gun. He's got the gun. He's got the gun. Can he get the kill? Yes, he can. Naked with a AK, it seemed, took down Crocodile again. This might be a raid that we see starting off early. Although both bases do seem to be well put up, they are, you know, pretty much finished. So it will be interesting to see whether these 2 will target each other first, or whether they'll go elsewhere due to the strength of the base.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Obviously, you have to choose your targets. You have some more players. We talked about this a little bit, that you have those 8 members, so you can kind of split them up. Like when we had those 3-mans, you kind of had to commit all to one place, and even with the 6, you kind of had to maybe put 4 or maybe send 6 and risk. Obviously, like we saw in Toper, they sent 6 and it ended up costing them. I mean, you can send 6 and still hold 2 back. In this one, so you have a lot more players, a lot more resources to kind of push around. So we'll have to see, but it's definitely like you said, that these teams are kind of right next to each other. They're definitely fighting for that ground, and we'll have to see who comes out on top in the raiding phase.
Yeah, and here's RNC looking to pick themselves up some loot here. There's PGs there as well. Joker's the lone soldier, as it seems, taking out the tank. Will he be able to get the loot uncontested? That's the question. There's a lot of PG pushing in on the opposite side, and Joker's going to have himself a 3-on-1, it seems, when they push further and closer in. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, it's some of those players at PG are pushing in, exactly like you said, and Joker did take it down, but I don't think he's going to get this loot necessarily, unless PG just kind of leaves him alone. But I think it'll be interesting. We'll have to see if he can get that. That would help him and his team out a lot if he could get that. But right now, losers topping the leaderboard with kills right now. So holding a pretty firm first place lead, about 6 or 7 points. And exactly like we said, Joker will get killed when that push from PG does come in.
Yep, and PG look to be taking Bradley here, uncontested. as they've just taken out Joker. Depends if he comes back, but either way, he is outnumbered. So maybe he'll call the RNC crew to come in there, take a push, but otherwise it seems to be impossible. But here comes the heli. See who can take it this time.
Yeah, the heli will definitely be important. We saw it. It doesn't necessarily a heli doesn't transfer necessarily towards a win, but all those extra points. Obviously, we saw how close the point totals can be last week and how close it can come down to the wire. So every point can help you. So you definitely want to target these attack helicopters. You definitely want to attack these kills, and we're gonna see another player if we pull up, kind of looking around, looking for maybe a fight, maybe some of those kills, and we're trying to catch up a little bit. Obviously, we pull up still in the top 3 at the moment, only behind by less than 10 points, so not in too bad of a spot to start their day off.
And as we've seen last week, 10 points, 7 points, 5 points, whichever amount of points there is in between the teams, it's not at all. It doesn't really matter. We did see a steal last week for Capybara, I believe it was, and they got it in the last couple of minutes. So maybe we can see this again today. But for now, as I've always said, this attack phase doesn't really show much of the teams. There was a team that was in the top 3 last week who took the 3 helicopters, and then there was not much left to see them. That's all the points they really got. They were still below the top 10. So will be interesting to see how the raid phase comes to play and which teams take on which, because the bases are looking slightly stronger. Well, most of them are anyway. The 8-man, obviously, you have more builders, you have more time, you have more people to go and gather resources and other things to do with the base. So it'll be interesting to see which base will be the strongest coming into the raid phase.
Yeah, you definitely want to have a strong base. We've seen cases that, I mean, obviously, it's somewhat dependent on luck. A lot of the bases have that kind of deal or no deal base that we've talked about, the $1 million in one of those walls, but sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you find it. But definitely those bases that aren't built up as well, that you haven't put as much time into, but rather maybe put more time into trying to go attack other things in this attack phase. I mean, it can definitely be really costly. But Nurk going to be putting some shots down on RNC, who is at the gas station over here, just kind of trading shots, and it looks like RNC is just going to be looting up and kind of chilling for now.
Yeah, they are a team that like to fight. They always battle it out in the attack phase, especially. Here they are again. They like to also take the gas stations. That's always where they seem to group up as a team. Every week, consistently, they're always sat on one of these places. And they're here again, Norik to fight. And Norik trying to push in here, but oh, Big Pappy gets taken down, so Norik have got the better of RNC this time around.
Yep, the opening kill will come through for Nurk, and it also looks like the gang will get the first helicopter down, so hopefully they can get some of those points. But firefight going to be traded between 2 members of Nurk and 2 members of RNC really at this gas station. But the most important thing is Nurk does have that backup from their base really close, and they're actually going to get 3 members here. So if you're RNC, this is a really dangerous fight, but they will take one down to open the fight up.
They will indeed. They've got it. They've got it good. And now shots are coming in. RNC getting taken out. El Triple, a player we've seen so consistently come out with the kills, has been taken out here. I wonder who that is over there in the distance, naked and hiding. 2 people in fact. Oh, and they seem to have taken down whoever it was that was attacking. But here we go. York's base looking relatively solid coming into the raid phase. They wouldn't be too worried about getting any more base defense set up. They'll be going to find some more loot. Here comes RNC again, pushing back forward to try and regain ground on the gas station. But no, never mind. Seems like that's all gone at this point.
Yeah, they kind of try and push back, but there's obviously that crossfire from the team up on the hill, so kind of hard to push back and retake that gas station, but we'll have to see where they go. Obviously, they kind of got pushed back off of that fight, but we'll be looking at some other bases, obviously some more teams that are right next to each other. It seems like a lot of these teams have kind of decided to pick all these different spots kind of just right next to each other. They kind of want these fights early on, and we'll have to see how this kind of goes in whose favor, because Gang is here, Crocodile is here, and both of them have a decent base so far.
Yeah, they do, and we always see this in the attack phase. Teams trying to get a taste for each other, see how they can PvP, see how they can withstand pressure. And now with a lot more people, it's a swarm of people attacking as well. It seems that the whole Crocodile team is out here shooting at Gay Gang, who are all sat in the base, trying to fix up the roof defense, and one of them who is sat on the outside. So it'll be interesting to see who will get the kills. Will it be the team that are on the high ground, or will it be the team that are pushing in?
Yeah, it definitely looks like Crocodile is pushing in exactly like you said. They're getting a lot of these kills, winning a lot of these 1v1s on the outside that are kind of limiting where Gay Gang can go at this point. So Crocodile definitely putting the chompers on right now. See if they can maybe put on this pressure, keep up the pressure. Obviously, they still have 15 minutes, so I think this is actually where the attack helicopter landed. So I think that's why the fight was so heavy, because both of these teams definitely want that loot, want those extra points, and it looks like Crocodile's getting the better of it at the moment.
Yeah, they're pushing in, but you can't be too sure, because the Gay Gang are looking out the windows on the top floor. They are shooting out, and they have the high ground ultimately, so they have the advantage here. But the walls placement down there, you know, they're hiding behind those walls, they're placing very nicely, and they're barricading themselves away from any shots. But it'll be interesting to see if the gang will push out together and maybe try and get the loot. But for now, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's kind of, like you said, it's kind of unsure that there's kind of a back and forth of being next to someone else, obviously being a little bit dangerous, but we're going to switch on over to a different team here. Looks like Losers. So this is our #1 team right now, sitting at 54 points with a lot of those kills in this attack phase. It looks like they are just building some walls out in this flat landscape, maybe give themselves some cover to try and push onto some more bases. It looks like maybe Losers might be a little bit more isolated than everyone else, maybe a little bit further away from attacking people.
Yeah, maybe indeed. Losers though, you know, they've got themselves the #1 spot for now. Witex, familiar with the name Witex. He did I think he went crazy last week in last week's event. This time he does take a very speedy death. And Otkisayer here to cause some pain, shall we say. They are all pushing on. Here's Xiaowei, to the player we've seen racking up the kills last week. Maybe he can provide the same again in this event. Or maybe, you know, the 8-mans will be too much for him. Maybe he'll be getting ganged up on 2v, 3v1. You never know how it's going to work with these events until it actually happens. Because on paper, yes, 8-mans should theoretically be maybe closer, but you never know.
Yeah, they should be closer because you have a lot more of those players, but this player of Losers is kind of evading the capture right now of these other members, and the backup reinforcements are going to come in, and he's going to get another kill. Wow, this man is just absolutely flying right now as he has some of those walls to help him defend, but he's going to be dropped low, and you might see him fall here, but just going to build those walls and try and defend as much as he can.
Yeah, he's locked up there in some sort of maze, as it seems. Doesn't seem like he's going to make a push, but there is still Denzel sat there. He's on 10 health, so it looks like that's an easy kill if the Losers play it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like there's also a flank coming in from Not Bad, so looks like Losers, they get a little bit of help from the squad of Not Bad, kind of pushing out that team that was in the sandwich between them. So we will get a little bit of backup, though, from the other members of Losers, and just trying to push on forward. They do lose that #1 spot. Crocodile actually retakes that #1 spot, sitting at 67 points, so a pretty good start for them. We have a lot of teams actually that still have a lot of points here, but it is like you said that this attack phase doesn't mean a whole lot. You need to get those TCs in the raiding phase to actually get yourself a chance to win, get yourself a lot of those points.
Yeah, indeed. And at the moment, it is all looking close, but I can tell you that it'll be the top 3, top 2 teams that will be taking it away. They'll be the ones going for the raids, getting the most raids, getting the most kills, and those are the teams that perform the best. And what we did actually surprisingly see last week was a very high amount of kills from certain teams to get themselves into that top 10, get themselves higher up. You know, we've seen KDs with like close to 100 kills there, and maybe we can see that again, because it is really impressive to see when teams can just get themselves to the place they are based off of kills alone. I think it comes from the teams that are defending the most, not raiding. And even though raiding does rack up yourself some kills as well, there was some teams that were sat in 5th and 6th who had about 200 to 300 points just based off kills alone.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of, you have to weigh your options. Like we talked about, like you were talking about, sorry, that last week we had a lot of those teams that had a lot of those high kills that really got themselves up into the top 10 spot just from kills and defending, but at the end of the day, it isn't really kills that win you those games. It's really that aggressive, getting those 40 points for the TC, getting some kills along with it, removing competition, like we saw from Capybara, that they end up removing a couple of their competition and end up going and winning. So I think those teams that play more aggressive will have a better chance at winning.
Yes, indeed. I mean, we are seeing another helicopters inbound. I wonder who will be taking down this one. I mean, the same thing again. We did see a hat trick last week. We get a hat trick again today.
Yeah, that would be fun. Last week we did see that one team take down all 3 helicopters and got all the points for them.
Well then, you do see something new every day, and this is certainly something I've not seen. They are on the very outskirts of the map, building themselves a nice little base here. Now they are far out the way, but they are looking very raidable. The roof defense is stone. They have not finished their compound, and there is 9 minutes for them to sort all that out. And the roof defense as well looks a bit messy at the moment. Maybe they don't have enough resources, which wouldn't surprise me considering they are built in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, they're kind of in the middle of nowhere. They're kind of, I mean, maybe they went for more of like a vacationing spot, you know, on the beach, snowy mountains. Maybe not like in it for the money or the fame of winning the tournament. They're more in it for just like the vacation spot.
Yeah, indeed. They've got themselves a couple of helicopters there, so I know what they're going to be doing with them. Flying across the map, most likely. Maybe that's the approach they're going with. They're just going to jump onto someone's roof and raid from the top. Wouldn't be a bad idea, but then they need to sort their base out first. This fight's still going on. This little war between Crocodile and Gaygang doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, the war's still kind of going back and forth. We talked about how they're kind of next to each other, so they want to really gain ground to push onto each other. And it looks like Crocodile, they've kind of been surrounding the base, kind of been pushing up. But it looks like Gaygang has pushed out a little bit, gotten a couple kills back, so they will trade a little bit. Some members of Crocodile actually pushes in and kills the member at the front door, so really nice kills from them to start pushing in. And in 7.5 minutes, we're going to have a really interesting fight between these two, as maybe one of them might fall early on.
One of them probably will, and a lot. If you look at the scoreboard, especially, it suggests that Crocodile have been pumping in the kills a lot more than Gaygang, which would suggest to me that they are winning this fight. But the only difference is Gaygang can keep getting their loot back. It's on their own roof most of the time. That's where the deaths are happening, or it's right outside the front door. So they won't be too bothered about how much loot they lose because they just get back when they go and just walk on the ceiling. Is this the is this the helicopter?
Looks like it. Fall here soon, but that's exactly like you said. They have that like kind of home field advantage that they can get their loot back, but it's also like you're saying that Crocodile has put out a lot more kills than they have. So it looks like the second helicopter will fall maybe close to Crocodile again. Don't know exactly where it fell, but we'll have to see. But it's still.
We will indeed. We will indeed. He's gonna go down now, just outside of Crocodile's base, but it does not mean Gaygang cannot get themselves in it. It will take some pressure off Gaygang, possibly, unless Crocodile play the cards right and all stay home. But it looks like Voxy is going to get themselves out of here. Healing at the moment behind the wall. As Chinloin sends heavy fire, but on 11 health, he hasn't got much to go for, and one shot on him, a couple of shots maybe, and he's gone. And Getrip, interesting placement of the wall, blocking himself out of any protection. Luckily didn't get killed though. Otherwise that would have been a magical moment for the month.
Yeah. But I think it's exactly like you were saying, that helicopter might take some pressure off of Gaygang here, because obviously Crocodile, they want to kind of take that before anyone else can get to it. But also, I mean, it looks like they're just keeping on the pressure. They're kind of playing it smart, keeping a few players. Obviously, they have 8, so they have a lot more players, a lot more resources to kind of split around. So they keep a couple of players up here to just pester Gaygang, keep shots going at their base, and keep seeing if they can just get some kills and make their life just worse.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. Luckily, Gaygang got the base up at the time. It does seem like Crocodile may be going for a raid on them straight away as soon as he gets to the raid phase, but it depends on how they can defend. I mean, we seen last week it was RNC do forget the other team, but either way, RNC were getting really, really heavily raided. And then all of a sudden, one member from RNC goes onto the roof, throws about 8 C4s down, and there's the TC.
Yeah.
And boom, there's all the pressure released.
Yeah, it can change really quick, and if you get lucky and find that TC, like you're saying, it could be quick. Or, I mean, if you even have a really, really nice raid, and as soon as you eliminate that team, it just relieves so much pressure because you have all their loot. Obviously, you remove that enemy that's really close to you, and you get those points, and then you can send your members out further and further away from your base without being at such a big risk with having that team literally right next to you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's incredible how it's happening. They're at their own front door and they're getting held in their own base. They cannot move. But here's we pull up another team that is second now. They've got themselves a lot of kills as well. Their base isn't the prettiest, but it's certainly as effective. I'd assume there's a lot of deal or no deal to be had in there. But at the moment, they are basically free of any pressure from any team there. They're pushing out, they're the ones playing the cards. No one else seems to be taking any sort of attack stance against them.
Yeah. Kind of looks like they're just like out here in the field, like you're saying, just putting down some walls. And there's about 4 minutes left in our attacking phase here, so raids will start to come down here soon. If your base isn't done, you better get it done soon. But we pull up another one of those teams that is really high in the kill count at the moment. They've been pushing out, they've been doing work, and right now sitting at 73 points in that second place. So, but we also talked about how, I mean, TCs are worth 40 points if you can find an easy base to raid, or you can just get a lot more of those kills. You can close that gap really, really fast on the board.
Yes, they certainly can. And here comes more fighting. I'm not quite sure where the opposing team is. They do seem to be making a push because they are not registering at all. But here we are. We pull up, taking out the gas station there. And here is FCF and Otkise. Both teams, it looks like it's FCF's base, not TK, are sat outside, maybe looking to push inside. This is the base we did see earlier. It did look quite messy. Maybe one of the first raids we do see here as well. Just setting up 2 minutes and 45 seconds until the first set of bombs are going to be hitting bases and walls will be taken down. So it'll be interesting to see who will be falling first.
Yeah, I think it's exactly like you said. This base is a little bit worse for the wear. They are trying to build it up, but I mean, Otkise, hard name, and they're just challenging today. They aren't even on the leaderboard at the moment, so getting this early raid off would help them out a lot in that leaderboard, and again, eliminating another one of your opponents.
Yeah, it's very interesting. They're still trying to get the roof defense up, it seems. They're still building. They have not stopped building, even though their base is looking slightly a bit like Hogwarts at the moment with the placement of all the walls. Interesting design. Maybe it's not what they were going for, but they've had to improvise. So, who knows? We pull up and pulling up here as well, it seems, looking for an early raid themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they might see that FCF is kind of struggling here, and Otkise is kind of pushing on, so kind of a 2-team raid onto them will equal up to 16 players, and could be up to 16 players in total, so FCF might be in a little bit of trouble early. As you said, the base might be not the best, but looks pretty juicy for points for the other squads around here.
Yeah, that is definitely it here. Kex today, so Otkise are looking to be taken out by a single player. He has still not been found. Again, one thing I mentioned last week, communication's not there, and now Otkise are taking hits everywhere, left, right, and centre, and one player from We Pull Up has taken out 4 of Otkise, even though one of them I think was down, but he's now taken his death to Denzel, who eventually spotted them. 2 down players will get revived here, it seems, as Maga. Oh. Oh, one was FCF. Ah, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, he gives him the bonk and he'll get that revive off. But exactly like you're saying, you need that communication with your team. We saw it struggling a little bit last week, but I mean, if you don't communicate, it's definitely going to cost you. I mean, we saw it a couple times last week where if you just don't communicate, your whole team is just going to get wiped by one guy sitting in the corner.
Yeah, well, he definitely did. Not an enjoyable experience. But here comes Physical Pain again, a player we did see last week because I did pronounce his name and I finally got it correctly. So his name is all about bringing the pain. But FCF are probably slightly worried that they haven't been able to move anywhere and finish their roof defense. So Okisei can just push in here. As it now hits the raid phase, we'll start to see people shooting, firing their beloved explosives at these bases and see where they can get to.
Yeah, they really want to look for this, and it's exactly like you were saying that FCF couldn't really go out and get resources with these two teams around, just keeping them from their own base. And I mean, it's definitely going to be really hectic. But the raiding phase, like you said, is started, so these teams now have the chance to go in for that TC, and we already have a lot of teams engaging on each other. So losers, one of those top teams, will start to put that boom on the side wall, and Crocodile is going to take that early kill lead into this raiding phase. He'll be sitting at 114, but losers already some good rockets throwing them out, trying to find that lucky TC.
Yeah, this was one team we did see perform the attack phase, so they can definitely kill people, and it's a very scary sight if you look out your window to see the entirety, it seems, of losers sitting outside your base. It wouldn't be the ideal world for me, but hashtag here getting taken out. Jerry's taken now, Mr. Noob comes out as well. Hashtag another one's taken. And it does seem like losers are going to be able to get as many rockets as they would like out, as no one from hashtag seems to be getting any kills on losers, and losers seem to be taking all the heat and putting it right onto the base of hashtag, who are taking all the deaths at the moment. Not bad pushing in behind them though, which could be a problem for losers. It's never good to see. It might even require them to go back to base if Not Bad realise all of losers, or most of losers, are out here trying to raid.
Yeah, losers kind of in this player sandwich in between the base and in between Not Bad, but people at the base, I mean, you're super happy about this. Losers was putting down a bunch of rockets, and now obviously they're going to either have to put down rockets and not pay attention to the backside, or watch their backside and maybe give hashtag a chance to push out. But with this base that's kind of on the water, it has some nice mountain ranges to protect its side, so kind of only really can push it from the front. So losers kind of in a stuck position right now, but they do have a lot of those players, like you were saying, still throwing out that boom, but a lot of players still over here.
Oh, WR were eliminated by Not Bad. Not Bad also now coming up against losers, and losers have been taken out. They finally met their makers, and Not Bad here getting themselves up to second with that raid, and now kill points, may be able to take over Crocodile as they push on fourth. It does seem like they are looking to do that, but here comes losers fighting back again, getting another kill here, and losers need to be careful because they don't want to lose this raid, but at the moment they do seem like they are, as two players taken down again by Not Bad, and there's a massive battle going on. Not Bad taken up by Mango. It's going to be a crazy fight we see here just at the start of the raid phase. I wonder who will be taking the raid.
It's a bloodbath here out in this barren land. Obviously, you can see the amount of walls that each team has placed. Looks like there is some members of each team still alive. It looks like it lists about 4 members of losers right now chilling in this attack. But like you said, Not Bad do take first blood against WR, so that will give them a decent chunk of points, and maybe they can jump into that first place position. But losers right now has taken a couple members of hashtag that were pushing out. We'll have to see if they can get this raid successfully off.
Here comes Smoky Helicopter, which I don't really think will make it. I mean, a couple of shots and that's fallen. Depends if anyone notices the fact that there's a smoke bomb in the sky. At the moment, it doesn't seem like anyone's locked onto it, so they are safe for now. Maybe they're just trying to scout the area. It could be Punk, the team we see on the side. Oh, more shots coming in though. More booms, it seems. Hashtag have a bit of pressure released off from those. Now Ukraine are getting involved as well.
Yep, there's a lot of pressure onto them and a lot of that boom like we were talking about, and I don't think they found the TC just yet, but they did put a little bit of a hole in their wall. They will try and repair that up before this team can get a push again, and really just trying to push and really get that. But we will have some players flying in here from Not Bad who look to be pushing again on the backside of losers. One of those members of hashtag taking advantage of all those walls that have been placed down outside of the base, and we'll see what they could do. They are struggling a little bit at the moment to teams pushing onto them, but handling it decently well with obviously those two other teams having to fight each other.
Yeah, I mean, hashtag still dying left, right, and centre, but now not bad look to be pushing in, taking over the trade. The Losers are all now building themselves some high ground. There we go, not bad, taking tragic deaths there, giving Losers more ground, as they do seem to be, yeah, they have their own bases placed, the beds placed, which means they can just get the respawn off. They got the loop there as well, and now the rockets will start coming in again. The raid has been resumed. Losers have taken back control, and they're going to be starting to shoot down this wall here as they look to push in to get hashtag, to get themselves a raid, to push themselves back to first place if they get this raid as well.
Yep, they want it really bad, and obviously you can see that really nice peak in between those beds. You can launch those rockets straight on through. It's exactly like you're saying, they're putting nice rockets trying to blow a hole into the side of the wall. I mean, if you're smart, if you're hashtagging, you're smart, I don't think you put the TC on that side, but maybe they can get an opening and a hole for them to get on into the base.
Yeah, and again, that's what he's mentioned many times before. It is the deal or no deal sort of thing here. You've got to be good, you've got to place your shots well. Hashtag now getting a couple of shots off on Losers, although it does not seem like any Losers have died, apart from on the top right there. GG. I've been GG'd by RNC, taken away. RNC finally getting a raid. I don't think I've seen RNC raid in a very long time, but here we go. They've got themselves one now.
Yep. They are now in contention, obviously in that top 5 again. And we talked about how they were kind of falling short these past couple weeks. That's been their storyline, but they really seem like they want to change it. They are such a consistent team, and getting a nice TC early is really good for them. We'll have to see how they perform for the rest of this rating phase and see if they can keep up those points, if they can stay in that top 5 or even maybe get top 1 or 2.
Yeah, they are definitely looking forward to it, but again, it's still early doors. It's still only an hour and 23 minutes remaining, 7 minutes gone in the raid phase, so it will be interesting. Oh, some boom coming here. I'm not quite sure where from, but it's definitely hitting. We pull up, it seems, on Cloud, or is it the opposite way around? Oh, here we go. Here's the open. Yeah, they seem to be clearing this stone base out quite quickly.
Yeah, they're putting some good work down, and it is We Pull Up that is pushing onto Cloud, so they're just going to put a lot of this boom down and try and find the door that contains the CT, or the TC. But yeah, just they're putting on really good work right now, and they're really, the members of Cloud aren't here to defend, it seems like.
Yeah, they haven't got the strongest of bases, which means it will be down a lot quicker. As the bombs just don't stop dropping here on their base. Kaboom, really a suited name for what's happening to them right now. And I'm sure the TC won't be too far off. They will be eventually able to find wherever it is.
Yeah, I assume it's going to be soon, but like you said, they do have a lot of those players in here. They are putting really nice kaboom down onto all of these walls, just trying to find that ending. I mean, we think it's going to be soon. Those players of Cloud, even after respawning, can't really get much work done, so I feel like it's gonna go down soon.
Oh, and I think they found it. It is there. Is anyone going to take it? Do you want to go and have a peek around the door? Oh, and eventually it does take a drop, and there's the first TC we caught on camera, and Cloud were eliminated by We Pull Up, who will now shoot to first place with a solid 17-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, that was just amazing. They had a really good push. I don't know where Cloud was. It could have been one of those scenarios where they were out pushing, had sent all of those players out, and those couple players that were back really didn't do much to defend it. But good on We Pull Up to find that really nice target. Obviously, like you were talking about, the base was a little bit weaker, so they found it very quick, very fast, and will take that first place lead for now.
Yeah, and the word that I'll zoom in on there is for now. It does take quite a while for all the teams to start showing up. Maybe some will push in later on, but again, Gay Gang seem to be taking. Is this Gay Gang's base or is this Crocodile's base? It's like Crocodile, yeah, Crocodile are getting pushed in. This is Gay Gang's base, okay. Gay Gang Oh, and as predicted,
Yeah.
Crocodile are really pushing in, and there's now a burrow through the centre of their base, and it's not looking good for them.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this fight a lot in the attack phase, how these two were kind of pushing onto each other, but it had seemed like Crocodile was getting the better of this engagement, and again, they are kind of just in already in the compound, and like you said, a giant hole in the side of their base, really the entrance that they needed, and we'll see if maybe Crocodile can put some good work in and take this before they can repair it or anything. They're just putting down really, really good shots and really good boom right now.
They are. Certainly are. Another kill coming in there on Yang, and it seems like it's a bit. There's a lot of things to go through. There's a lot of places to discover and search, but
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how much they do end up getting themselves there. Looks like the player from GG just sat on the base there. Either way, Crocodile now pushing themselves in. A lot of them dying. There's a lot of dead bodies on the floor, so it'll be interesting to see what actually happens here. It could be one of those long raids that last half an hour to 45 minutes.
Yep. Could be one of those long raids, but also they have some control over the compound. So Gay Gang right now just forced inside. It looks like we might have another team pushing on the other side. So PG might be another nuisance for Gay Gang to deal with then, especially with 8 players on a team getting raided from 2 sides is super, super hard to defend.
Yeah, it is. PG also attending the raid now. They are also looking to push in. Maybe they're going to start taking some shots at the opposite side, splitting the space into 2. So far, though, no shots coming in. It looks like Crocodile are coming in from one side, and a lot of the Gay Gang players are taking deaths inside. And Crocodile as well, looking to get themselves onto the top spot. So that'll be interesting.
And it's pretty tight at the top. I mean, PG really, really needy point of them going to be thinking about it. I mean, they're not top 10 now. They can really use the points and really didn't get enough kill points. But just where it gets, but Crocodile can also really use this because, I mean, they're sitting in 2nd place right now. It's really, really low. And getting this T finish would be really good, but down another team.
Yeah, hard to say, was eliminated by Notbad. Now Notbad go to the top spot, 163 points for them. And again, another team, Notbad, a team that we did not see much of. I know one of the players in that team is James, a player we see quite often. And now the TC in here must be getting close to being taken. They are really pushing hard on here. And there's 2 of the top 10, so I'll take out very early doors.
Yep. They're gonna be pushing on in. We'll see if they can get on in here, maybe take it out, but they are getting pushed on from both sides as Gay Gang, so I have to see what they can do to defend. I mean, it's hard, like we talked about, with 8 players pushing on both sides of you. It's tough, and they have a lot of their players back. They can't really send any players out, so all they're really focused on right now is defense.
Yeah, and I mean, here's we pull up on FC, is it? Yep, it is. And Otkise also trying to make an appearance, but now they are taken out. Not bad with the job on them. And this was a base that I would have expected to go quite quickly. Wittek's again on a kill streak, same as last week. That guy's the one to watch. He will get a lot of kills. And now this very messy interior base will start getting themselves, you know, burrowed in, trying to fight that TC. A lot of shots are still coming in. A lot of openings are happening. And maybe the space was unfinished, or maybe there's just been a lot of boom going on inside from people. Hard to tell.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a combination of both. Obviously, I mean, it didn't look great from the outside, but I mean, a lot of boom coming down too. So it's kind of in shambles in both of those ways. And we pull up, true to their name, retaking that 1st place spot, actually tied for now. But they're in a really good push right now, and we'll see if they can find this TC, if they can get this finished so they can start pushing onto another base fast enough. And I mean, already 15 minutes gone from this raiding phase, so we got an hour and 15 left. Still a lot of time, and still a lot of time for these teams to raid.
There is indeed so much time, in fact, for these teams to raid. And FCF trying to get themselves, you know, some more ground on we pull up, who are already seem to be inside the base firing. So I'm not quite sure what they're trying to achieve here, waiting outside the base. They are already inside your base, FC. You need to get back into the base to defend inside first. But Not Bad also making an appearance. Very interesting kill there from On God. I don't think he quite realised that it was another team, not his teammate, until it actually came to looking at each other and going, "Oh wait, you're not on my team." And the kill did come in. Yeah, but Not Bad looking to get themselves in as well.
Yeah, I think that's definitely super interesting that We Pull Up and Not Bad are both here, so the person that takes this TC, obviously it could sway the momentum a little bit more, as Crocodile is keeping up with those other top 2 teams, but We Pull Up is inside the base like you were talking about. FCF going to have to defend the inside from them, but a member of We Pull Up will get taken down outside, and a couple more will fall on the inside too, so maybe a chance for Not Bad to push on in here.
Indeed, and as we've seen as well, a lot of shots coming in left, right, and centre. Losers seem to be hammering home the kills. 2 players now on a kill streak for their team, and very interesting looking base design. I mean, sometimes being messy make it be a pleasant disguise, as physical pain takes a drop as well, as what they say. That's a good team as well, who were taken out. Otkise were getting a lot of kills in the red phase. They were always popping themselves around, and they've gone very early to Not Bad. So it just shows how good teams in the attack phase tend to dust in the raid phase.
Yeah, it definitely kind of showcases that, and I mean, it's like you said, that there's so much more time in the raiding phase that the attack phase, I mean, it matters. Obviously, you want to get those resources, you want to get some of those kill points to kind of build up your score, but once it gets into raiding phase, there's so much time for these teams to make up ground, and even if you fall short or even aren't even on the leaderboard in that attack phase, you can still come back in the raiding phase.
Yeah, indeed, and I mean, what we can start to see as well is how FCF can defend this. I mean, their base seems to be a mountain, so they are still slightly safe. We Pull Up might get bored and go elsewhere. We have seen that happen in the past where they can't get the raid, so they end up running away. But Hugo, though, doesn't look like he's going anywhere too soon. He's just going to take out Not Bad. As Not Bad is causing some problems. And, oh, there you go. We Pull Up have been taken out, apart from Nikita, who remains strong. Not Bad, though. They are there for the taking. They are coming to steal this base off of We Pull Up, and I'm sure We Pull Up have something to say about that.
Yeah, it really looks like Not Bad might get the better of this, but We Pull Up still going to be pushing onto that. We will swap over here. Looks like PG is going to be getting raided by RNC, so RNC looking to kind of maintain, like we said, maintain their points, and are pushing in. They are almost to the compound here, so the base is also looking a little bit worse for the wear. So we'll see if they can push on in, maybe get that TC quick, and maybe get those points.
Yes, this TC puts them back in the race for the top 4. They do need to get kills above that, and to be honest with you, the top 3 right now are looking very, very close. Yeah. Only 10 points in between. No, not even that. There's 8 points in between. They're interested to see what they do.
Yeah, it'll be definitely be an interesting one, as it's really tight, and like we said, you can't really stop at any point in this raiding phase. I mean, if you stop to just defend, it could be the chance that your opponents need to take over that victory and gain those extra points ahead of you. But RNC, I mean, it would be absolutely huge if they could get into this base, if they could get this TC, if they could jump themselves back into that. But looks like Hashtag will be eliminated, and yet again, another team pushing on and really putting down really, really nice points.
Yeah, and one thing we should about Hashtag as well. Hashtag was getting taken out by We Pull Up, I believe it was. It was Losers who was taking Hashtag, and then it was Not Bad who came on. So Losers finally do take that base after the problems they had with Not Bad. They took out Not Bad, and then they took Hashtag's TC, and that puts Losers at the top. Now, I mean, now it's even more close to the top 4, and RNC need to get this raid, otherwise they'll be left behind.
They really need to get this one done. Don't want to be left behind out of that scoreboard. And it looks like Punk, one of our teams here, that was had that nice little view of the ocean. The view might not be helping them out now, as it's like Kanava is here to push, and here they want this TC. They saw the base. They kind of wanted that juicy, easy points, and we'll see if they can get it done, as they are killing Punk. But we will lose 2.
Yeah, Shivark there, causing causing some problems, taking 2 of the Punk members out, as Punk were looking to get themselves a couple of kills and get more ground, but instead it will result in them getting hit even further now, as the team, who I believe are Russian, a lot of Russian players in the team are pushing heavily onto this base and looking to take it out. But a matter of minutes, really. It doesn't look like the strongest of bases. You know, it was placed in the middle of nowhere. Don't even know if the compound was finished in the end, but here we go. Their base is very open at the moment. It looks like the TC is going to be found in that moment.
Yep, they got those ladders up. They got a really nice intro, and it looks like PG, RNC gets them eliminated, and RNC again making it such a tight race. Only 13 points separating first through fifth, and I mean, Kanava could make it add themselves also to the fray.
Yeah, they are sat in 9th at the moment. They would need a couple of raids, a lot of kills if they want to get themselves up there. They are starting off quite slowly, you know. As long as they finish well, it's top to finish, not the start. And they are going to have a lot of deal or no deal style base yet again. A base we see very often on base invaders.
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's definitely random enough that people might not find it, but and eventually you are going to find that thing after a lot of work. But we'll see where they can do it. But Punk actually looks like they are getting a couple of kills. They push back a little bit, but these ladders and like you said, their compound is pretty much broken. So nothing much they could really do at the moment.
Yeah, and they are. Yeah, Punk just seems to be done and dusted. But you know, again, it'll take a while to see the TC, so we're gonna move on, and we'll see Weeple up, go back to FCF, and Weeple up are still inside. Not bad though. They're all pulling up now on the other side. It's gonna be Weeple up and Not Bad versus FCF. Well, then again, it's 3 teams against each other really. So Weeple up are coming out to get rid of Not Bad, as well, they don't want the raid to be stolen off them.
Right. Yeah, if you can stop this other team, obviously a team that is close to you in points from getting that raid, it would be massive for them. And I mean, they still are looking, like you said, this base is kind of a mess, but the mess is kind of helping out FCF at the moment. We'll see if any of these teams can actually find it, but a lot of those FCF players just going down inside, but a lot of just bloodbath of all, like you said, 3 teams fighting inside this base.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I wonder what the damage looks like inside. Obviously, we did leave the space a second ago, and now it looks like, you know, it looks like it's nearly completely wiped out. Obviously, still some doors to search, still some crooks and crannies to find. Be interesting who takes it though.
It'll be close. I think both teams are really pushing us. It's definitely, like you said, it's Swiss cheese at the moment that nothing is really protected. So a lot of these teams looking Weeple up and Not Bad, both looking to get this TC, looking to get these points, and I have a feeling we're going to find it soon.
Yeah, the base has not got much left to search. A couple more doors, a couple more rockets to go up, and I think these guys will be gone. Not bad though, taking over the base, it seems.
I mean, RNC again on that kill streak, so putting down some good kills, keeping themselves in the running, but neither team has found it just yet. I do also like the addition of the trees, adding some, you know, foliage into your base.
Yeah, gotta get the decoration. The base was a very interesting looking sculpture, you can put it that way. But now we pull up again, looking to take back the raid. Not Bad in the distance, coming over the horizon. FCF and Not Bad and Weeple up, all 3 teams still inside the base.
Yeah.
This could benefit FCF though, if Not Bad and Weeple up start taking out each other, giving FCF some space and room to breathe.
Yeah, it would be nice if they had, I mean, obviously FCF, like you said, their base is kind of not in the best shape right now, so if Weeple up and Not Bad were to fight each other, would give them some time to repair, maybe try and get some stuff built back up, but at this moment it kind of looks like it's just going to be a race for Weeple up and Not Bad. They're kind of more focused on the TC than fighting each other.
Yeah. Base to navigate around. I'm not sure where the TC could be at this point, maybe in the core, but It looks like every single wall, every door on the outer side of the base. So Stringy over there, he had a little bunchy jump with his arm, his leg, in fact, outside. I don't know where it is, the TC, because there's not much left to say.
Yeah, there's not much left. I really don't know where it is. Maybe they hit it in just like one of those corners, and it is super maybe a place that you wouldn't think it would be in and never look there. But at the moment they haven't found it, and FCF holding down for now.
They are somehow. Although I wouldn't really put it down to FCF's holding it down. I put it down to We Pull Up and Not Bad. We Pull Up now looking like they've took complete control over the base. No Not Bad members to be seen. But We Pull Up though, they are out in numbers, so they need to watch out for their own base. Otherwise, they might be the next to go.
Yeah, they definitely could be, but they are putting down a lot of really nice kills, so it's a really good advantage. But we did see it last week that if you send all of your members out and you leave your base unattended, it can go really quick, and all of those points you worked so hard to get. But there you go, We Pull Up just as we go away. FCF will be eliminated. We Pull Up will take a lead once more, holding down that first place spot.
Now I wonder whose base this is. It looks like oh no, Arava's base. Doesn't look like they took the raid on Punk after all, and losers here, if they can take this raid, they'll be able to take Punk out as well. 2 raids for them, not bad. Losers now slamming down this base. Again, a lot of doors, a lot of crooks and crannies, a lot of rooms to search for this TC.
Yeah.
I wonder where it'll be.
Yeah, they're really looking, obviously, like you're saying, it is one of those bases again that you got to kind of look through each and every one of those doors and just hope to get lucky. But they are up in here. They are really looking for this base, and it would be nice because people have obviously taking that one base lead over all of those other teams. We'll see what they have to do about it. And I mean, we also haven't talked about it a lot, but there are a limited amount of teams today and a limited amount of raids to be had.
Yeah, there are. Obviously, with 8 mans, there's not as many teams as we usually see. They can't split up. Players are joining the forces and coming together. Players around powerhouse teams as well. Losers, though, they are getting closer and closer to this TC. Looking surprised that they find it in second. Don't really know where it is though, at the moment, but I'm sure with a matter of time they'll be able to find it.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to find it soon. I mean, obviously they're putting down really nice shots to keep on pushing on in, but they're going to try and blow up these garage doors, see if maybe they can find it behind it. But blow it up, and nothing yet.
They can get themselves some loot, but they can get themselves many, if any, kills. Take it down here. Reinforcement. Oh, Rocket's coming in as well to assist the down. Maybe we can capture TC on camera. Nope, we're just catching up a passageway. Another corridor with more doors.
More doors.
And that is usually the way this goes with these bases.
Yeah. And it is the way they go. We're going to try and blow up some more. They're going to put some rockets down, and we are approaching about an hour left in this raiding phase, so about half an hour has already expired, and Punk is actually eliminated by Kanava. So Kanava looks like they were away from their base, and they will take out Punk, so really nice, but they need to get back now because Losers is already in their base. They've destroyed a lot of those doors, and those points will mean nothing if their TC falls here.
And it looks like their TC is about to fall as well. There's not a lot left going for them in the base. I think they've left it too little, too late here at home. Again, though, has anybody told them that they're getting raided? You know, the people that were on raid, has anybody said, yeah, by the way, you know, the base is left in about 3 pieces. If you want to come and help defend it, doesn't really sound like anyone's been here because Losers are taking every door down, every door, and they're doing it with quick speed as well.
Yeah, they're kind of just taking out everything they can and also taking out enemy players, so they're just really looking through it super fast, and it's exactly like you're saying, maybe a lack of communication from some of those Kanava players, and they're just burning through these doors. It will be any second now that they can find this TC, unless the Kanava players can get up here, kill some of these players, but it's looking really grim.
certainly is. But again, as we've known in the past, it does take a while to get these type of bases, especially if you don't get lucky with the TC spot. Here they are again, having to blow for every single door to be sure that it's not behind that door, the other door, or the other door, or the other one, or the other one. There seems to be several thousand doors in this base especially, and although it's very open, it's a very frustrating experience for the players.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a mental challenge because you blow up all those doors, you're like, oh, I'm just hoping it's behind this one, I'm hoping it's behind this one, I'm hoping it's behind this one, and when it's not, it kind of hurts, and obviously you gotta look through all of those.
Might just caught a glimpse of it then. I'm not quite sure if my eyes are playing for me, but I think I just caught a glimpse of it on the outside and an open door. And it might be the case on the outside, I'm not quite sure though. I might have been seeing things. But it did seem like the TC was there, maybe they've just not looked. But either way, they need to look, otherwise they'll be wasting all their boom on unnecessary doors and unnecessary kills.
Oh. Nothing just yet, and I mean obviously they're gonna keep on looking, and looks like Kanava can really not stop this push just yet. And I'll look around the outside here and see if maybe we can see it, but no, it looks like they haven't found it yet, but they have probably blown over maybe 3/4 of this base up, so we'll see if we can push on in, as they're doing really well.
Losers are looking to push in as well. Not bad as well. All the teams get involved on it. Losers coming back in. Not bad again, looking to try and steal their raid. It seems to be a daily occurrence now between the two. But we pull up though. They are running away with it still. They are still 30 points ahead. Obviously that is only one raid bar and see they are getting kills, so maybe they are raiding someone. It's hard to tell. But either way, losers, they need to find this soon. And they want to, if they get this raid, they will be just ahead of we pull up, and it'll be a horse race to the top.
Right. Yeah, they really need this base. They can't let these other teams come in and steal it. I mean, you know, putting so much work down, it would really stink for another team to just walk in and take this from them. But they got to do it soon, and they got to do it now. And it's exactly like you're saying, that they want to stay in this race. They want this, and if they get this TC, it can definitely keep them in this race.
And you've got to give credit to the teams today. They are putting on a show. Losers, there you go, 8 kill streak. The kills will be coming in handy for them, as it will help them, you know, pursue themselves further up the table as more and more kills come out. And that's, you know, that's a good thing as well. If they can get the kills and the raid, then they're going to be getting themselves way ahead of people up who seem to be sitting ducks at the moment. They haven't gone up with kills. They haven't gone up with raids. They are out on that 255, and it's been a solid 255 for a solid couple of minutes now.
Yeah, they might possibly be defending, but I don't know. I definitely think as the rating phase starts to expire, I think we're going to see a lot more of these top teams kind of rating each other like last week. And I mean, obviously if you take out one of those people above you, it's less competition for you to fight. So I think as time comes closer to the end, we're going to see it a lot. Obviously these teams want to raid the easier bases first, but once there's only those top 10 teams left, I think it's definitely going to come down to who can raid the other top team's base successfully.
Yeah, well indeed. More shots coming in as losers trying to find wherever this may be. Kanava take a little sneak there inside there. Wittek's just not nifty enough to get there to shoot him. Here's Kanava in the middle core of their base. Maybe that's where the TC is actually hidden. It'll be interesting to see where they actually find the TC.
Yeah, and it might be in the middle, like you said, but it has to be somewhere. I mean, this team has really looked through most of this base, and most of it is blown up. So only maybe a few places left it could be, but again, it's just trying to be lucky and find where that TC is. Where, I mean, honestly, looking through every single one of these doors takes time and resources that you could be spending somewhere else if you find it.
Yeah, and I guess losers can see this in the way it's an easy raid, and if they win it, they get higher up, and they are pushing themselves into 4th. They're pushing up, maybe nearly taking over Crocodile if they can get the kill points. RNC are not too far ahead either. It's We Pull Up who are sort of run away with it, but you know they've been slow. But that raid does seem like it's going to take quite a while.
Yeah, and we're gonna leave, and we will be looking on. I think it is RNC raiding a base here. It looks like RNC raiding Gay Gang, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so two teams on the side of this. It is Crocodile and RNC raiding Gay Gang, and surprising that they are still here. I mean, we saw the early aggression from Crocodile, and maybe we could see RNC kind of help take out the other side of the base, but Gay Gang getting good shots on the top of the roof onto the members below, and we'll see if they can defend it.
That is the main thing. I mean, they are still keeping the roof very safe. Can't really say much more from on the interior. The interior does feel broken. Everything is in backpacks on the field, and more trees to add to the decor inside.
Yeah, having that really nice tree added to the decoration, and exactly like you said, that their base is kind of in shambles right now, that a lot of those walls are broken, but they're somehow still in it and somehow still finding a way to protect that TC, to kind of build up repair around it, and keep these two teams from killing them at them.
Yeah, and slight observation, they are keeping it high. They are all placed, well, most of the Gay Gang members are placed on the top sort of floors. Now, that suggests anything to me. It suggests that they're trying to protect the TC up there, but it could be down here as well. You never know. Maybe they're trying to play reverse psychology on their opponents, but it does seem to be slowed down inside the base. Game maybe got full control. Crocodile killed as well. Maybe they've got themselves some footing here in their own base, in their own home.
Yeah, hopefully they can get that foothold like you're talking about. Obviously, they had that home field advantage that we talked about is so huge before, that having the loot inside your base, having those respawns so close to you is just massive. And I mean, even though there is two teams pushing, Gay Gang doing such a good job of really just pushing back and trying to hold these teams off for now.
Yes, it is that. I mean, they are getting the kills. They are performing quite well, apart from the fact that their base looks like it's been split into several parts. There's still a lot of doors to be discovered here, though, so again, could be one that takes up half an hour to be opened up completely.
Right. Yeah, it's another one of those where it's just like, oh, I hope it's in here, and when it's not, you got to just keep going and push through the doors, and it really gives them that chance to push back and kind of rebuild and try and hope for the best, but a little bit of fight. Obviously, we've talked about how Crocodile and RNC both want this base and are both at this base, but neither of them will take advantage yet, but one of the members of RNC will end up dying.
Crocodiles will get themselves sniped down by Gay Young, who seems to take the base back, surprisingly.
Right. So we might have a helicopter coming in, so some of those members going to be pushing back. Can't see, it is Nurik, so I don't know if they're going to join in this fight. It had to be a third team in, but see where they go with that helicopter, and Losers will be taking out Kanava.
Will take him to top as well, it looks like. Yep, Losers now taking first place. And that is illegal here, what we've seen from Crocodile. They've built themselves the box, and that is not allowed. So they will be getting a slapped wrist. That is something they cannot do.
Legal. Yeah, it's a little bit illegal, not a fair play there, so gonna have to get that all figured out. But as we talked about, Losers, they do take another TC and do take some more points. So again, the race for the top is still super tight, because a lot of these teams are still in it. I mean, if you're under 6th place at the moment, you really need to go get some points, but a lot of these top teams putting in really good raids, and eventually I think it's going to come down to, like we said, all these teams are going to be raiding each other.
Yeah, that is it indeed. Now another shot coming in. Is this Nurik or is it CJ? Who's the defending side here? The CG raiding Nurik team. We just seen going on a little trip on the helicopter. They now have to rush back as well. The base is getting blown into here.
Yeah, hopefully that communication is there for the Nurk team. It doesn't look like they have too many members here at the moment, so CG going to get a decent raid to start, already putting some good rockets to give an entry into the side of their base. We'll see if they can get on in, and it looks like some of the Nurk members have come back, but still looks like only 4 here. Some of those others might have gone on that helicopter to try and get it on the raid, but let's see if CG can find it, and Nurk is out.
CG have found it, and they found it in expert time as well. We did not manage to capture the TC on camera. We did, you know, we were at the place. We did see the landmark before it was taken out.
Counts. Yeah, but that'll be good for CG. I mean, they are a little bit out of the race right now, but they can get maybe 1 or 2 good raids. They can put themselves up in for contention maybe, but it was, like you said, it was really, really expertly done. They find that TC, they eliminate Nurk, and again, I think the aggression out of Nurk kind of, I mean, they went out on that helicopter, really didn't defend their own base, and it cost them the ultimate price.
It did, and here comes Gaygang still getting raided, but still defending. Crocodile looking to push out though and get more shots off. It will be interesting to see where it'll end up for them though.
Yeah, we'll have to see where it goes from here. I mean, obviously, they're defending it pretty decently at the moment, and they're getting a lot of kills from doing that too. So their inside of their base was in shambles. They're trying to repair it, trying to get it back up as fast as they can. Still getting raided by 2 people. It is hard, but they're persevering at the moment.
They are indeed. They are indeed. And again, you know, as we've mentioned before, the top 5, especially looking rather close to each other. Even not bad to still have a shout in this one. It's a very, very much closer event than we seen last week in the NA.
Yeah.
But I wonder who will be able to take it again. It'll be a chariot race to see who can reach the top, reach the final spot, and win the prize.
Yeah, and obviously it is a marathon. It's not a sprint here. These teams they want to get those points, but aggression can cost you your whole game, and all of those points you build up over an hour, hour and a half can be lost instantaneously if you are not back to defend your base, or if you just make some simple mistakes. It can really cost you. But at the moment, it looks like Gaygang just holding down. I mean, they still have 2 teams pushing, and honestly, they're doing really good work of putting down shots to defend themselves.
They are indeed, and Crocodile, they've been there for a while, and they aren't giving up. RNC taken out now as well. One Scott, he's flying around looking to get himself some shots, and it looks like the compound's been repaired with the best efforts possible. We can't quite tell how well it's been done.
They tried to repair it as best they could. I mean, honestly, they had 2 giant holes in the side of their wall, so they tried to repair it the best they could. And looking at our map, like, we have very, very few teams left, so it's going to come down to all of these top teams literally raiding each other, and whoever can survive or take out their other top opponents.
Yeah, we pull up, sat at home. Not much going on over there. All the raids seem to have slowed down. I wonder what we can actually discover. Only the single raid here, and it's on Gaygang, still going on. I wonder if this base will be taken out. It looks like one of those bases to me that I think they could actually hold off for the rest of the raid phase, to be honest.
Yeah, they could hold it off. I mean, and I think the advantage that they have is teams. I mean, I think it's only these top 7 teams that are alive. So all of these teams are in contention, but they also don't want to lose their base. So I think a lot of these teams are a little bit more scared because, I mean, the more teams that get eliminated, the higher target you have on your back. And I think the biggest target right now on We Pull Up and Losers, who they could be out raiding, and if you are out raiding and you don't pay attention, your base could be taken really quick.
Yeah, you are indeed. And shots coming in left, right, and centre. And also that little box is being destroyed as we speak. Shots coming in left, right, and centre though. And Gaygang still taking a very, very good stance here. The compound, is it open? It doesn't look open. Looks like they've got some more games. So here we go. Gaygang pushing out, getting some kills here. Taking everyone out as a team. Get Trip now needs to get his little sighting as well. One Scott hiding behind that wall, looking ready to peek out. And Gaygang eventually I don't really know what he was expecting to happen, but he's taken out.
Yeah, kind of sitting out in the open as one of the Crocodile members does take him out. They are really posturing a really nice defense here, though. So approaching about 45 minutes, halfway through our raiding phase will be done here, and it's gonna be a barn burner up until the end. As looks like Gang just holding down for now. They're holding down a really nice defense for the moment, but still two teams we're pushing in as we switch over to it looks like Losers, who are kind of inside, chilling inside their own base. It looks like maybe a successful defense, so we'll just be holding down for now as their base looks pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on. Why everyone's playing stay at home. There's still a battle to be won here. Still
Yeah.
too close to speak, and no one's here to take Bradley anymore. They've just sort of ran away, and now it seems, well, it's very calm and mellow. There doesn't seem like that many teams left either.
Yeah, it's super calm. I mean, 7 teams left. It's a lot of these teams playing more scared than anything, and I think really the biggest thing is just to kind of crowd up on one team. But RNC gonna have some beds here along with Crocodile, and I think Gang is just taking the worst of this right now, because a lot of those teams are just saying, oh, this team is getting attacked, we pretty much have a safe route to attack them also, because we know these teams are busy attacking them.
Yeah, and again, this is like probably the lowest teams I've seen actually be alive on a Rustoria-based Invaders. There's very little here. Gang though, I'm surprised they're still here, but RNC now pushing in as well. Some of the familiar names, Eclipse, Tripler, Inky, Joker, you know, the names we see every week, they're here now and they're ready to say, you know, piss off Crocodile, you've had your chance, you balls it up, we're here to finish it off, see you later, and here we go, they're sending shots in now. Finally we are seeing the raid continue after what seems to be an hour of nothingness here for Gang. Even though half their base inside's been taken, at least it gives some teams, you know, perspective of where they need to go next. But
right,
it does give the RNC.
I think it's definitely important to say that RNC, they've been one of those consistent teams, and they are in this top 7. They are in the running. They have a really nice chance, and Crocodile had, like we said, that whole beginning of the game to try and take out this base, and they have not been successful yet. But looks like a helicopter might be coming in too, so a lot of these teams is really trying to put on the pressure. Looks like Crocodile does get some members inside the compound along with RNC, so the base going to get some heavy damage again.
It will do, it will. Losers flying in on a helicopter. You know, I mean, that's a good way of transport. You got to, like, a lot of these bases are far away from each other now, as there's only 7 left, and it's probably, you know, there's a little amount of teams here ready to battle. Gang still got a lot of loot though, there's still got a lot of fight left in them, but now their base is starting to lose half of its repairs, and RNC, they are hitting hard at this base. They are not giving any mercy. Shots coming onto the roof now as well. Maybe it'd be quite wise to take out the beds on the roof so they can't respawn, but oh my word, the shots in the background, the sound of shooting, it's almost therapeutic.
Yeah, it's a lot of shots coming down from both sides, and this helicopter's still riding around, and it looks like, I mean, Losers might be going for a different base, but it looks like they're going down. They're gonna drop here and see if all the players can jump out, get some cover down, and we pull up, gonna put some walls down. The team currently in first place, they want to pile on to the action, and it looks like a 4th team will be engaging on this Gang base.
It is a pylon. It's a pylon in the finest degree. No one else around. We discover, and we pull up, looking to get themselves in on this one. I don't think they've attended this raid before, but here we go. They've made themselves an appearance. This is crazy to see how many teams are around now. There's 4 teams here fighting.
Yeah, they all want part of this cake, and they all want that TC. Obviously, we talked how close the score is right now, and I mean, 7 teams left. I mean, this is 4 of them attacking and 1 of them defending. So a lot of our teams here, a lot of them really want this, and We Pull Up is going to get really nice shots onto the backside of one of our other teams, and it's just so hectic. I mean, you got to think maybe this helps out Gay Gang a little bit because these teams are just fighting amongst each other outside of their compound.
Yeah, they are. Gay Gang are just sort of getting the prime view on it, even though they did just take a few heavy shots. Quite sure what's going on above the helicopter display that's happened. But nevertheless, Crocodile getting taken out by We Pull Up. They've gone, yeah, okay, you've had your time. We're going to go and take RNC next. Both of yous, get out the way. What are you doing? We're here to take the raid. Thank you very much. Good night. And here they are, ready to send some rockets in. It seems they're looking to get themselves some shots off. And a lot of shooting's coming back and forth here, either way.
Yeah, there's a lot of firepower exchanged on both sides, but exactly like you said, We Pull Up, they do take out those members of Crocodile who have been pushing on this base for so long, and honestly, they have a really nice chance to try and raid this base, but I mean, Crocodile, you gotta kind of be a little bit upset because, I mean, your base is right next to the members of Gay Gang, so losers, they say instead of pushing onto Crocodile, let's just push, or instead of pushing onto Gay Gang, let's just push onto Crocodile, who is right next to them.
Yeah, they are right next to them. They are making a lot of noise. Losers as well have turned up. Losers on Crocodile, is it seems. The Crocodile have to fall back and defend, meaning that We Pull Up should have some freedom to take the Gay Gang base. And it looks like it will be losers and We Pull Up in the final race here. But Crocodile still stand a chance here if they can defend.
Yeah, it's going to come down definitely to the wire like we've been talking about all day. I mean, these teams definitely just trying to take out their competition, those teams that are close to them. I mean, every team you take out, there's only 7 teams left, so not a lot of points left other than kills and a couple TCs, but the more people you take out, the higher chance you have to win because you're taking out another opponent that has points that are so close to yours. So We Pull Up is going to be looking, but it looks like We Pull Up's base might be taking some fire here as hopefully that member inside can communicate that those rockets are going down, and not bad. I mean, we talked about this, that if you are not at your base, if you're pushing too aggressively, I mean, you want those points, but they have a bunch of players here just rocketing the side.
Yeah, and well, there's a lot of damage coming in. Is this We Pull Up space? Not bad making an appearance. This is actually one of the most exciting events I've seen because the teams are all coming. They don't give a shit about their own base. They're coming here with all 8 players, sending shots, and oh my word, they are not stopping. We Pull Up, they're pulling home now, but, well, it's only a matter of time before they all, well, disappear and take death.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good play for Not Bad. They're going to take some shots here. They will get some of those beds down, and a really nice wall is going to be torn down by them. They got like 7 or 8 players here destroying those walls as some of those members of We Pull Up having to come back, having to get those resets off, having to give up on their own raid to try and defend is Not Bad, just putting the most amount of loot ever just right on We Pull Up space.
Yeah, and it's going down. A lot of shots coming in, a lot of doors though again to be seen to, and it doesn't seem like we're going to get a Capybara performance again where they can just take down one wall, but it is actually beautiful to see the rockets go off like fireworks here. And I'm not quite sure what We Pull Up are doing.
Yeah, I think they might still be on that. Yeah, they're trying to get some shots to try and take out some of these members, and they'll get a few, but Not Bad is inside their base already. So I think if We Pull Up doesn't get all of their members back really quick here, I mean, they sent some obviously on that raid, and some haven't come back yet, so really need to get them back.
I'm just amazed at how quickly their entire base has been, well, cut through in half. But again, 36 minutes, you know, they have time to defend this, but they just need to hurry up. They're being very slow about it. You can't be slow, otherwise half the base is gone, and there's not much to work with after that.
Yeah, they need to get back. They need to really get back really quick and repair. There is enough time for them to repair, to defend, but the time is dwindling as, I mean, Not Bad is all up in their base. Has blown a really nice hole through the side. We'll see if they can go even further and maybe take out this team, but it's gonna be interesting as we look. Really, the #1 team, they have that target on their back like we talked about, and Not Bad wants to aim into that target and really try and take them out.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see the kill points that we're seeing here as well. So that's all that we can have at the moment with the top 7. DG minding their own business slightly. RNC trying to get a raid as well. Crocodile getting raided. We Pull Up getting raided. Gay Gang were getting raided by We Pull Up. I don't know if that's still happening. I don't know if We Pull Up have pulled that, fell back now. It does seem like they're all come home. RNC may be taking a bit of a shot as well, maybe from CG.
Yeah.
Although, maybe they just fancy having an open compound for the fun of it.
Yeah, maybe for the decoration, maybe have that open compound
Wow.
for the whatever. But it looks like Crocodile's base has taken a lot of damage while we were away. And Losers is in here. They want to take out another one of those teams, one of those 7 teams that are still left alive, and they are up in here. All of those members pushing on in, and Crocodile gonna take a lot of damage. Their house is kind of not looking the best, if I'd say so myself.
Yeah, it's very. Again, you know, it's one of those. It all falls down to what Crocodile do from this point onwards.
Right.
There's a lot of base left to search. You know, it's not on the side they seem to have shot, or it might be. There's still a couple of walls there, but I highly doubt it. And again, Losers are just causing the ruckus and they're blowing everything up. Not really looking to leave anything alive inside the base.
Yeah, and I think ultimately the winners of all this madness is Gay Gang. I mean, they had, what, 4 or 5 teams raided on them, and now they don't have anybody because either the team went off to raid somebody else because they thought it was too packed, or they got their own base raided and they had to go back and defend. So maybe they have that time to get those repairs. It's a really nice base. They have time to reset and stay in this game.
Yeah, and it does seem like We Pull Up actually a member back. Because the amount of time it took them to all get back home wasn't too long at all. Not bad though, had the right idea to flank them whilst they were out and away, but maybe it's gone now as Crocodile. One Crocodile player seems to take out 8 Losers players by the looks of there. Interesting indeed. We're moving on again though, seeing what more action we can catch ourselves up on. Not bad seems to be inside the base completely now. Interesting raid defense from We Pull Up. More rockets getting sent in from the outside. Not bad attacking in. We Pull Up trying to flank from the outside again, but it doesn't look likely to work as there is a whole party happening inside their base right now. Fireworks and everything. Interesting is the word I can use for it.
It's like the 4th of July, this base. get the rockets, get the fireworks, and maybe Not Bad can take over and get some points here. But like you said, it's definitely in shambles here. This base not looking too good. They are all up inside, and all is left is to find this TC, get lucky maybe, and see if they can find those points and eliminate some of their competition.
Yeah, they can. I mean, they are shooting at everything they can find. There's not a TC out there yet though, but I do think one of these last 7 must be raided. Not all of them are going to survive. There's no way.
No way. Yeah, I think it's definitely like once you raid one of those teams, like it's less pressure on you, and I mean you can take more of those isolated raids. So we'll have to see. It looks like Gay Gang though really doing a good job defending. They get that 10 kill streak, so I mean we'll have to see. As again, We Pull Up, they are in that top spot, and they do have that big target on their back. We talked about it, that all these teams, the higher up you are in the points, the more likely you are to be raided, because there's just one less team for one of those lower teams to beat. So we'll have to see if Not Bad can actually find that TC though.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like CG are looking to push onto RNC, and RNC have Big Petite looking at what We Pull Up. CG though, they're coming in numbers, especially to go into RNC's little base over there. Wonder what will happen here. I mean, they are very well defended. The team we've not seen too much of today. I would probably cross them out unless the top 4 get raided from getting themselves anywhere near the top. But you know, they're still here, they're still fighting, still trying to get themselves a raid, trying to make their name known to the public. They're doing a good job at it. They're doing a very good job.
Yeah, I mean, CG has these walls set up, so not too bad of a defense so far. RNC obviously missing a piece of that compound will become crucial if they can push up. But one of the members of RNC going to be pushing out, and he will get crossfired and we will take him down. So RNC really trying to kill some of these members as a flank coming out from Eclipse. He will get one. And will the communication come through from the team to let them know that there is a player there? They will start to know, but it looks like he's going to take out two. One member's going to be pushing. He's going to have to reload, and it looks like he will die for it. So he gets a couple players, but CG here to push even further, almost inside the compound already of RNC's base.
Yeah, they need to get a couple of shots off though. Maybe they don't have the rockets, but they need to start shooting because at the moment they're just sort of waving at them from outside the base. They need to just push on and get on with it. Otherwise, you know, time's not with their favour. They have not got an hour to spend on this raid, only half an hour. Oh, and finally the first rocket has flew in onto that wall of RNC. And RNC have quite a nice base going as well. You know, the peak point there is very, very nice, very nasty for when people try to move in. Hinky locking that down completely.
Yeah, he's got a really nice peak. It can help him on that defense, and exactly like you're saying, we only have a third of our raiding phase left. That hour has already expired, and for these teams, I mean, I've seen you need to make moves if you're one of these. If you're CG, if you're not bad, even if you're Gay Gang, you need to be making moves to try and eliminate one of these top teams to give you those points. And I think CG, those rockets, you need to start getting them in here now because you are so far behind right now. I mean, we club sitting at 365 points, CG at 188. So you really need to start doing things now, or you're gonna run out of time here soon.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still surprisingly no raids that have happened. Although this is an interesting one. Whose base is this? Is this CG?
It's not RNC.
CG. RNC are coming to raid CG to get the pressure off them, and they are inside, it seems. So only a matter of time before CG, in fact, are raided. And I don't even think they realise that the RNC guys are here. They've done this before, and they look to do it again.
Yeah, it's a counter raid coming out from RNC, trying to see if they can maybe put some pressure onto CG, if they can take their eyes off of their own base, and maybe, I mean, even if they can get lucky, that one player maybe find a TC, but no one back here to defend. They will. CG will send their first member back, but he will die. So RNC already in a really nice position. I mean, if you're CG, you gotta think you gotta send some people back now, even though it's one player. You might not know that. All you were hearing is rockets at the moment.
Yeah. Another player, the same player from CG coming back again for more. Don't really know what he's trying to achieve, mind you. Nearly deaf. He does trap the RNC player like an ant. So now, well, I hope he has enough rockets to get himself out of it, otherwise it's a pretty iffy situation for him.
Yeah, he's just going to keep on blowing up those doors. Like you said, CG, though, is going to come home. RNC does have this player, though. I mean, he's just going to put down some rockets, see if he can blow up, maybe get a lucky TC. But at the moment, he is trapped, but going to have some of those rockets just to keep on blowing up some more and more walls and doors.
Yeah, it'd be great if this guy can take it on his own. Solo play of wisdom. He's pointing his rockets. I don't really know if CG know what to do here. I think they're a slight bit worried. But again, it's 3-on-1.
Yeah, it's 3-on-1 right now, and that also means that CG aren't really pressuring RNC as heavily anymore, and RNC should be able to get this defense, and maybe even, I mean, this is really good shots, and he takes another down. Member of RNC putting in so much work here on the CG base, and he does die, but very, very well played.
He had the whole team back as well. He brought the whole team back.
Back on board with Crocodile. Your base looking a little bit rough.
Well, I mean, losers again, trying to still get back into the space. They are not inside of it anymore. I'm not really sure what to say about this, to be honest. There's nothing left. It's going. There's a hole right through the base, for God's sake. You can see both sides of it now. You can wave at Gay Gang losers through the hole. As they push it on the other side.
Split.
Quite literally. Well, I think we know which side it's not on.
Yummy.
That only puts it down to another 2 sides.
But they're gonna keep them in. Like you said, there's a hole right straight through it. I mean, not much left of it if they can actually push in, and that's what it looks like they'll do. Maybe try and get this res on the outside in the compound here, but he's gonna let his teammate die. But not gonna res him at the moment. Actually, was just looting. So we'll get his teammate up, and they do have some ladders to get on in. As like we said, there's a lot of damage done at this base, and more rockets coming in.
Yeah, Crocodile still probably shitting themselves. They're sat up there. Got to keep calm. 25 minutes to hold off. Is it possible?
Maybe. Okay, maybe.
The base is a whole split. I mean, we know what side it's on now because we know what side it's building. Both have been taken out, so it's not hard to guess.
Yeah, I mean, losers are inside here too, so Gigging looks like they pushed a little bit onto it, but Crocodile defended that side more, and both of the bases, I mean, Gigging really wants to come and push this back. They did have a really nice defense earlier that we saw. And losers are in here. It's just a matter of time, I feel like, before they find that TC, though.
Can I just add, We Pull Up has gone up 50 points from kills. Now, more. What's going on? They've rised very, very much from where they were. And they were defending. So they must have done a good job against Not Bad because they flew up on the kills, putting them further ahead than anyone by a raid and 20 kills. That's good. Good stuff from them. They might be the winners now because of that.
Yeah, still a little bit of time left, obviously, but I mean, I think they got some defense points too from that one defense, and then like you're saying, getting a lot of those kill points to hold the lead down at the moment. I mean, approaching 20 minutes left, so not a lot of time for these teams. Time is running out. I mean, you can still make a couple plays, but you better do it quick, and a lot of these teams just sending every member they have out, and I mean, we saw it with CG that as soon as one member comes back to counter raid, you kind of have to send multiple people to kind of check it out because you don't know if it's one player, if it's more than one player, how many it is, and how much danger you're actually in.
Yeah, interesting, to say the least, how the teams can attack and defend with basically just a scrap left of their base.
Yeah.
DG coming back though.
Shots are going to trade out. One of the members of RNC will fall on the outside, but I have to see. I mean, RNC still, their base is looking really strong, and they are still in it in a sense. I mean, down 80 points is a decent bit of points, but we'll see if maybe they can turn around, maybe get some kill points. I mean, 20-some minutes left. Still a little bit of time if they can maybe get 2 successful days off. Have a chance to take it, but We Pull Up still sitting pretty heavily in that first place, over 400 points at the moment, and we haven't really seen any teams fall for a little while. Kind of just these top 7 teams dueling it out amongst each other.
Yeah, indeed. Teams obviously getting graded, it seems, down in that lower part, and it will be Not Bad on We Pull Up yet again. Realise now that people have run away with a bit, so let's just take them out, make it more of an interesting defense.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely something where if you take out that top team, I mean, everyone's gonna be happy because they're not so far ahead, but they're over a TC ahead, and if you take them out, that gives you 40 points and takes out one of the top teams. It'd be huge, and I mean, not bad. They're not in first, but they're also like a decent ways down the leaderboard, so killing one of those top teams would definitely help. Those points would definitely help, but they are killing some of those members of We Pull Up on the inside, and I don't know if you're We Pull Up, you kind of have to come back to defend this. At this point, you don't really need an attack to win the game.
Yeah, you just need to defend. I mean, the kill difference between them and losers is significant, but I mean, the only possibility I see of losers being able to take it is if they can raid Crocodile. That's the only way I see this happening for them.
Or maybe if they jump onto the bandwagon of raiding We Pull Weeple up?
Possibly. Although again, chances that happen for me are very slim. Not bad, don't seem to be doing a very good job. Every time they get in, it seems like Weeple up are doing a very good job of killing them. Even though now they are looking like dead. Nikita's pulling up outside, killing another one. Not bad, just going to keep being pain in the bottom. Going back, keep shooting, keep raiding, and eventually Weeple up, maybe run out of sets of gear.
Yeah, and it looks like RNC also kind of pushing up. I mean, they have CG on their side, but are also looking to help take down Weeple up, putting some shots down. They have put some of those walls up to try and gain that extra ground, and some rockets will be actually fired out to maybe start to take out the one side of Weeple up as the other team pushes on the other side. So approaching about 20 minutes left here. Still these 7 teams holding strong at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, Crocodile just took over losers on kills. Crocodile obviously defending against losers, so that's well, one positive to take from the event happening there. So you know, it's been a very, very close event though. You got to admit it's very, very close indeed. Obviously CG are just out of it a bit, but they're still going. They're still not giving up. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
It's super close. It'll be a fun one. I mean, we've had, like we said, a lot less teams in this one, and a lot of those teams did fall early to a lot of these top teams. But I mean, 200 points it's not nothing. So a lot of these teams are, even if they're not in the first, second, or third place spot, still have been working hard this whole tournament to try and still take that win. I mean, with 20 minutes left, it's still, I mean, still honestly possible for someone to take it. If Weeple up does die, that would open the door for pretty much anyone to take this.
It does. And here's Weeple up again, trying to get some kills, taking out of one of the RNC players. RNC. Now Joker and Inky, they're both pushing around the outside. Eclipse on the opposite. Here comes Fresk again alive. Maybe not for long though. Yep, not for long indeed. The respawn didn't work off in his favour, and well, he's met his maker. More rockets coming in. More rockets to take down this Weeple up side, who need to defend well if they want to keep themselves on that top spot, which seems to be locked and loaded at the moment. As Crocodile and losers don't seem to be getting any successful raids, and it's going to be hard to get one in 18 minutes, especially when the teams that left are all powerhouses. I think the easiest raid to go for at the moment would be CG.
Yeah.
But that's just based off the points. I mean, you can't really describe anything else. It was quite easy for RNC to get into their base. They were reluctant, sending everybody out. Maybe they've learnt a lesson now, but RNC pushing on as well makes RNC a target.
Yeah, exactly. It's right when you go out to raid, it makes you a big target, and a lot of these rockets going to be coming out from RNC, and I mean, like you're saying, CG probably one of those easier targets. They're kind of isolated too, so if you do need to counter raid them, we saw it from RNC. I mean, as soon as they sent one member over there, it kind of stopped their raid. But we'll have to see. I mean, Weeple up taking a lot of damage now on both sides of their base, just like we've seen a lot of these teams just kind of piling on for when other teams go in. But Not Bad is up in the base here, so be careful if you Weeple up that they don't get your TC and destroy all of your hard work that you've been working for this whole tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, Not Bad are too far off now, I think, to win. It falls down to losers, Crocodile, and Weeple up now. 3 teams in it. Weeple up though, if they get taken out, then RNC, Geigang, those 2 teams also form a part of this battle. Right. But this TC, it all falls down to this.
Yeah, it honestly comes down to, like you're saying, if Weeple up can pull off this defense, then it will be fantastic for them. I mean, it's their game to lose at this point. 50 points ahead, they have this defense. That's what they're pretty much going to have to do. And 2 teams raiding them, we just see that CG's base left all alone. And I mean, at 200 points, you kind of have to do that. You have to kind of make these crazy plays to try and go for something, anything that might get you the win. So CG's base just going to kind of just be left alone.
There's a lot of walls being placed everywhere. Interesting. RNC now. Oh, CG up in their base. That should release the RNC pressure on Weeple up, giving Weeple up time to go and defend against the other team. Interesting plays, but you know, they all count to make a difference in the end.
Yeah. back to the banana split here. Looking at Losers still trying to push onto this Crocodile base, trying to get inside. Obviously, it is in absolute shambles, and we'll see if they can actually finish it up. I mean, getting one of these would be pretty good because it would bring them close to that #1 spot, and they are inside. They are getting some of those kills, but Crocodile is forcing them off that top of the roof.
How have they not found it? I mean, there's barely anything left there to search. I mean, the base is it's a museum at this point for what could have been, what should have been. I mean, Losers, this is for $100. You've got to push yourselves back in here, get yourselves just shoot downwards, really. They're killing the beds now. They're starting to take out the beds on the roof, take out the loot as well. Very intelligent play. Get rid of the Crocodile attacking defense force. And there you go, Crocodile. I could, out of any of the raids we've seen so far, this is one that I could see happening. Out of any of them, this one's most likely.
I think it's definitely most likely. It's like exactly like you're saying. I don't know how they haven't found it yet because it's shambles. Like there's literally like nothing left except like a few doors. So hopefully they find it soon. I mean, it would definitely make it a tight match, but they've spent way too much time. I feel like on this base.
What are they shooting at? They know what's behind the wall. Why are they shooting the wall for? What are they trying to do? Crocodile now coming down the bottom of the base. I'm not sure if they have much left to defend. I don't know who's shooting at those walls. I mean, that maybe behind that one garage door. That seems like one of the only ones that's left there. That's why rockets are coming in. Who is it? Gay Gang who are sending those rockets. So maybe they've opened up the TC. Probably not. I wouldn't imagine it to be, but you never know. They are still shooting at a wall that you can see behind.
I don't think they know Crocodile wanted like a base with more airflow, you know, some air circulation.
Yeah, well, they're definitely not going to get too warm in that base.
Exactly. I mean, it's like you're saying, Gay Gang is putting some rockets on from the other side, and hopefully, I mean, maybe if they can find it, they can put themselves closer to that top. I mean, where else could it possibly be? Like, this team has to be close.
Yeah. More shots coming in. Gay Gang killed out by Losers. Losers killing everybody, it seems. One of the Loser Tape members took the death. I'm not quite sure where it could be at this point in time, to be honest, the TC. I mean, everything seems to be open. Every passageway, every doorway has been opened and tampered with. We must be on to the last sort of doors now. Obviously, the higher base, which is crazy. Well, that was very interesting. I mean, Wittex was just there trying to heal up, and then all of a sudden the doors open, and well, there goes Wittex.
Yep, he will go down there, and I mean, where else honestly? Like, it's so open. There's so much destroyed here. I mean, one of these teams has to be close to it.
I don't know how they haven't found it though. It's a myth in my mind how they haven't managed to find this. Gay Gang pushing it as well now. Shots flying over the base, not onto the base. Interesting. I mean, Gay Gang again. Yeah, they could be in with a shot, but they do need people up to die. Losers are the only real people who can maybe catch it if they can summon 30 kills.
Right. And it looks like some of the members of Crocodile are dying on the inside. And Losers, I mean, they need something needed now. Like, they've searched throughout this whole base, and at this point, they're just wasting time. Like, the faster you get this done, the faster you could possibly get another raid done. And it's just like, where else could it be? Like, you need to get this done very soon, or it's going to be over for you.
Yeah, that is true. Beds are dying left, right, and centre, it seems. No one having much to do or say about it. I'm surprised that they've lasted this long, to be honest, and if these guys manage to survive the entirety, it's again very confusing in my mind, because their base is not a base anymore. It's literally open in most directions, so again though,
yeah,
what's going on there?
It's open in all directions, and I mean, approaching about 10 minutes left, you do not have a lot of time. So it's like, it's open, like exactly like you were saying. It's not a base anymore. You need to find that TC now, or you're going to lose. And I mean, $100 on the line. What are you gonna do? They really need to find it and finish it off fast, but they're just running out of time at this point.
They are running out of time indeed. Not bad. They don't seem like they can get into this weak pull up base. We pull up and defending extremely well, as they have been for the past half an hour. Still not really an opening to their base at all. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're defending really, really well. I mean, you got to give it to them. They have just been honestly the most all-around well-performing team today. We've seen how good their raids were. We've also seen exactly like you were just saying how good their defense has been. How I mean, literally they don't really have a hole in their base, so just defending so well, playing it so smart at the moment. I mean, even with that big target on their back for a while, they have just pushed through, and again the shots connect, win another 1v1. Just really, really well played for people up so far.
Yeah, and they've only got 10 minutes now to defend. They'll be very happy to see that, and it does look to me they're 73 points ahead on kills alone. They are really going to be, yeah, they're going to be pretty much taking this. I mean, it's going to be. I don't even think it's close with losers taking that TC, to be honest. I don't see it happening personally, but maybe they can go out on a kill spree on Gay Gang afterwards, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't honestly think it's possible. I think losers, honestly, realistically, they need to take this base of Crocodile, and then they need to go take Weeple space. It's the only way I think that they do it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's possible. Not enough time.
Right.
They spent too long on this. This is what I'm going to call it, this.
I mean, yeah.
And they still haven't found it.
They haven't found it. They haven't found it. And it's like you said, they've been spending too much time here. They really needed to find it sooner, and if they are just running out of time. 9 minutes left. Like you're saying, that's not really enough time to kill a full Weeple at base, along with still finding this TC that is somewhere hidden.
I wonder where the boom's coming in. They seem to be taking down the final doors now. I mean, at least we can go out with a bang. Not too sure where they're trying to find it. Well, maybe it'll have to be on this side. The last side they look at. There's no way it can't be here. Maybe we'll see it now. Voila! No.
Another door. Oh.
That's a nice corridor. Yeah. Will it be it? Will it be it? What's behind the door? What is it? Another door.
Another door. Let's go.
Hey. And again, will it be lucky? Is it right on the money? Right on the money? Is it? Is it?
No deal.
Oh. No.
Another door. Let's go.
One more. Come on. Come on. Is it behind this door? For loser's sake.
Money.
No.
Oh, a wall.
It's not there.
I like it.
So we go down. Oh, it might be on this layer though. There's still one door remaining here.
Yeah, I mean.
Here we go. Now we move on. Oh. Oh.
Is it behind door number 762?
Is it? I don't know. We can find out, I guess. These are well hidden as you see them. Like, oh my word.
Yeah. Oh, a wall.
Yeah, it's not. Well, is it on the bottom layer?
Just looking for this DC. I mean, come on, please. I feel bad for them at this point. Like,
It's down there, I wonder. Oh, what a surprise.
another door. Another day, another door.
Goes through to another door. They're absolutely miles away from it, man. They've got 6 minutes to even find it. And 6 minutes isn't going to be enough time for them to get top place. Unless we pull up are magically raided by Not Bad.
You know what they say? A door a day keeps the doctors away.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we've got about 6,000 doors, it seems.
You're good. That's good.
Yep.
Door. Let's go.
Happy be getting bored of this if I was losers. They've been here for ages. They've shot down every single thing, and I couldn't imagine what's behind this door. Wow, why am I not surprised?
Another door? Oh, gosh.
Why am I not
I
surprised?
haven't seen one of those in ages. I mean, so rare.
Why am I not surprised? Maybe now. And he's dead. And he's dead.
He's dead.
Well, that was what a display. I think that might be the TC there, though. You know, maybe.
It has to be at this point. Like,
No, it isn't. It's
30 seconds.
He's covering that door. It must be that door.
Has to be.
If he came from the other side, he'd have got it.
It's the only door left. I mean,
He's guarding that door. Yeah, it's that door. He's guarding it with his dear life. Are they even going to realise that it's that door?
I mean, they have to. Like, that's the only thing left. This entire base. Gonna build a couple more though to try and defend it. 5 minutes now left. It's looking like a we pull up victory. I mean, 90, almost 100 points at this time.
What's he trying to shoot at there? Yep, on somewhere they've already opened up.
Yep. It's good. Oh wow. Nice.
Some movement. And again.
The members lose those. Will might be able to find it here now.
Oh, no way! No way. Oh, it's there. It's there. Come on.
Right there.
Throw the C4.
No.
Shoot it. Please. Where are you going? Here we go. Finally.
There
Finally.
we go.
They've found the TC after an hour of Is It Seas Raiding Space, and finally Crocodile are eliminated by losers. Woo! Took them half a year. They've done it eventually.
I mean, look at that base. Oh my gosh. I mean, everything's gone. Literally everything. It broke through every door.
They took forever on that, though. That's that. If they'd have been faster with that, they'd have won. They could have had a chance at winning anyway.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much set in stone at this point. I mean, losers, I mean, you make one final, probably last-ditch attempt toward we pull up. But, I mean, other than that, it's looking like a we pull up victory, a loser second place. And, I mean, nothing else is really close. I mean, 50 points between first and second, 80 points between second and third. Another, I mean, pretty close between third and technically fourth right now. But from fourth to fifth, I mean, another 80 points and some good kills coming out.
Well, I mean, it's seems to be everyone's realised now. Unless losers can pull this off, which then would make a lot of difference. But 2 minutes left. I mean,
yeah, they can't even defend their base. Like, you can't go back and defend your base. You just have to pretty much send it over to we pull up, who pretty much, I mean, they have just such a strong defense. Pretty much none of their base was destroyed, so it's probably over at this point, unless they can make some really last-ditch lucky effort and kind of their luck of not getting crocodiles until the end maybe pays off for them getting it on like the first rocket or something. But other than that, I don't really see them being able to do anything.
yeah. Well, it's all come down to this. 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining, and losers need to find an entrance. Need to find something to hold on to here, as they're raiding from the exact same side that everyone else has been raiding from. But the TC was not.
Speaking of raiding, we appreciate that raid from Rico, the 21 Raiders. Appreciate that to come in and see the end of this 8v8 Rust tournament. Obviously, again, this is EU. We will have NA a little bit later, but a minute and a half left is all that is here, and it seems like we pull up is going to take it.
It does. And finally broke into the compound. The only way
Yep.
they could win this is if they knew where the TC was, which I doubt. Highly doubt.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be anything of the sort. I mean, we're down to a minute, only 60 seconds left, and I mean, it's over at TC now. It is 50 points, and it is looking like it is going to be over. 45 seconds left. We pull up. Such a good performance today. It looks like they are gonna take it in the end. As losers, they're trying to push for everything they can.
They must be.
It
Must
they
happen
can't
for
do
them. I
anything.
mean, losers have no time left to make any difference at this point on the base. They've lost all hope. And Gay Gang, you know, they've been great all along. They've defended all along, and they've kept their base alive. So well played to them. Really well played to them.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a huge battle for them because, I mean, they had, what, 4 teams at one point raiding their base, and they end up defending it, and losers, their push was good. They end up taking down Crocodile, but with the 6 teams remaining, 5 seconds left in our raiding phase, that looks like it is going to be a 2, 1, and 0 as we pull up. Will look like to take a W.
Yep. More than the TC away as well. Really good performance from them. They came through, you know, and they absolutely smacked every other team on there. They kept their base defended for the last 40 minutes. Really well played from them.
Yeah, I mean, and we can see their statistics here for, I mean, we pull up raids completed 2, their defense and their kills, though, super, super massive. Those 2 raids completed definitely did give them the win, but 402 total kills, 78 by their top player. So overall, just a really, really fantastic. I mean, we talked about it too, how good their defense was. It seemed like their base was fully intact all the way through the match. So overall, just super well done from them.
Yeah, you got to give it to them. That's the top team. I guess we can go through a couple of the others now. Word on the street is that we could be going to have an interview with We Pull Up after that victory. But here's the losers: 3 raids completed, 1 raid defense. Great from them. You know, they were there. They were definitely a solid team. They did perform very well. It just came down to the fact that they didn't have as many kills and they didn't get that raid done quick enough.
Yeah, I think they had a lot of those kills, but again, like you said, not enough, and that raid was pretty slow. And I mean, they had to destroy literally the entire base to actually get it done. And at the end of the day, they fall just short. I mean, nothing to be ashamed of. They do get that 2nd place with still 500 points. So not bad at all, but pretty good from losers. I mean, 3rd place RNC. I mean, we've kind of talked about how they have been falling a little bit short. I mean, you got to be proud of your performance here today. 3rd place, not bad at all. 2 successful raids and over 300 kills. Not bad at all. And I mean, they end up in that really nice 3rd place position.
Yep, they do. Gay Gang, 6 defenses. Oh my word, they were crazy. 333 kills, went positive just slightly. 829 with 79 kills. He was incredible. Gay Gang, though, we did see them all along. They survived. Very well played from them. And I guess we can move to Not Bad. See how they performed.
They performed actually pretty good. 2 completed raids, and they do get a decent amount of kills. They still go a little bit positive, and I mean, overall, not too bad on the points. They get 300. They end up placing themselves in that top 5. They fall short, but I mean, they're still alive at the end of the day. I mean, we saw so much carnage and raiding on each other's bases that you got to be proud that you are still alive in this top 6.
Yeah. And I mean, CG, a team we didn't really see too much of. They go negative on KD. 1 raid completed, 2 raids defended. Obviously, one of them was on the single player from RNC. So, you know, solid performance. They got themselves in the top 6. They were last, but they did survive over the other teams. So well played to them as well. Some really good performances today from all 6 of the teams remaining. And also, you know, you got to give the credit to Crocodile. They did survive pretty much almost until the very end, and eventually got taken in the last 4 minutes. But well played to all the teams. Say an amazing event. Very exciting.
Yeah, it was super fun. I mean, today was, I mean, it's always interesting with the change in number of people, what we see, you know, obviously what strategies change and stuff like that. So today we had a lot less teams, but a lot of the teams playing really well. Like you said, Crocodile especially, they did fall a little bit short, but at the end, they were alive for a while, and a lot of these teams just playing really, really well. And I mean, you gotta give it to all the players coming out, showing up today for EU. We'll have to see. Obviously, NA will start in a little while and see if these teams come back to play in that one. But I mean, good job to We Pull Up. They end up taking that first place, and I mean, all of these teams just doing a really amazing job today.
Yeah, an hour and 24 minutes until the next one, but now we have time to give out the thank you. So, big thank you to Ian for being the observer and the streamer today. Doing a great job capturing many TCs. A lot of them were just seconds after, though, unfortunate there. Thanks to Llama, for being my co-caster. Been amazing the whole way through. And again, big thank you to all the teams, everyone that's came out and watched today. And a massive thank you for Rustoria for keeping this going, keeping the fun in there. And thank you, everyone, for watching. It's been a very pleasurable event to cast. I'm sure Llama shares the same view. We will be back in about an hour and 24 minutes with the NA event. It'll be a little bit later than that. That's when it starts, half an hour later, and we'll be on the stream with the attack phase. But we'll see you all later. Don't go anywhere. Get your popcorn out. And thank you for watching.
Thank you.